Welcome back to yet another weird video about old crap. Yes, something I found at the thrift store a long time ago, and I haven't got around to looking at it. Let's kind of like take a good look at this thing. Yeah, it's a Vista. Oh yeah, a Vista. There is a lot of a Vista going on here. That is a Vista system. Look at this mounting system for mounting it on the back of a monitor or some other contraption. So here's the Intel Core 2 V Pro. That was something that a lot of IT departments would have been interested in back in the day, for running virtual machines that allowed you to maintain their systems a little easier remotely. And here is all the specs you could ever want to know about the system. You can see the processor. It has an E6550. It had a 80 gigabyte hard drive. It had 2 gigabytes of RAM. Not sure what the 5K stands for, but it was a US system. Looking at the back here, we get a good look at the very proprietary, the power port. What a freaking nightmare that is to find. Yes, I do tell you that. I cannot get this thing to boot because I don't have a power supply that matches. And of course they've lost one of the screws for the VGA, but that's neither here nor there. We've got a DVI, we've got the old school PS2 ports, 6 USB, network, nice, not that big, but nice airflow here going on with the fan, and you got some audio. You got a lock to secure your system, and I've gone to the trouble of unscrewing the security here. And let's see what we can do to get this thing open. And of course it has, as I didn't point out, but it has a DVD. It has USB, audio, power on, a couple of light indicators, some airflow happening here. In the days of the HP Compaq takeover. Let's see if we can get this thing open with one hand. I don't know if I can, to be honest with you. This is where I almost have to It's almost like I got to phone. Get this apart here. Go on, you can do it. Nope, I'm not gonna do it. Okay, hang on a second. I'll just pause this. Okay. Got it loose enough to actually continue this examination. So that's the nice heavy metal. How nice that is. Really solid metal construction of the day. Of course they made this so that you could mount it on things, so you better make it solid. Alright, so let's take a good look at this thing. We got some RAM. Oh yeah, it's RAM. See if we can get this open here with one hand. The old one-handed, yeah, did it. Okay, so what do we got here? Micron, 2 gig, 64666. Okay, so it's, it's DDR2. Okay, let's put that aside. Over there. see the next one. It looks like HP too, so it might have been the original HP replacement part tag on there. That's always nice. Again, matching, so that's cool. So those are very decent DDR2 sticks that I could certainly use in a different system. Look at that beefy heatsink on there. They weren't fooling around, nor were they fooling around with this. Nice little heatsink on there. We got another Intel sort of chip here going on. Looking at the caps, they're all good. If I can get and look at that nice little fan, could use some cleaning. Yeah, look at all this. These caps are perfect. Nothing wrong with them. I don't see any bloating, any leakage, nothing. Okay, so let's try and open this thing up. There's a couple of clips in here. If I can get in here. This is the true skill. Oh my God, I did it. The true skill of a YouTuber is to take things off with one finger. And we did it. All right, so let's take a look at this. This is the hard drive, or sorry, the optical drive. Let's see if we can get it loose. With one-handed. Yeah, I got it loose. Nice. It's an HP DVD type drive. Okay, put that over there. Don't really care too much for that. It's not that important. Let's take a look at taking this out. Okay, nice. I like that toolless design. We've got ourselves a hard drive. We'll just put that aside for now. And we'll look inside here. So looking at this whole thing, I'm seeing no cap issues. This thing would be a great candidate for a classic small form factor computer. Problem is, what the hell kind of system am I going to have to find to get it to, or sorry, power supply am I going to have to find to get it to work? Let's see what we got here. What is it telling us? Well, it's just you can have the code if you want. Let's see what, oh, here we go. There's the power requirements. 19 volts by 7.1. And it's got the old, very awkward power supply. That is a barrel jack power supply, similar to the Dell power supplies, but requiring this kind of frickin' 350 watt input. That is going to be hard to find. And as you know, I'm not much of a person who does eBay crap, so chances are this is going to be a parts machine. Now let's think about the parts we get out of this thing. We can definitely get this thing out of it. And what type of a system, what type of a Core 2 Duo is it? Well, it's an E6550. See, that's the great thing about this system. It tells you what's going on with it. So it's an E550 CPU. It's got an 80 gigabyte hard drive. It doesn't, it actually, I looked inside, it's actually got a 160, so somebody upgraded that. It would have came originally with we're assuming 2 gigabytes of RAM. So yeah, and the 7K, I'm assuming must be the hard drive, maybe 7,000 RPM hard drive US. So that gives us a lot of information about the system, assuming nobody's changed anything, but I really don't think anybody's going to change the CPU. Most people don't. It's very surprising to find that changed. And yeah, people upgrade the RAM all the time. So we know we got the RAM here. and we know what type of RAM it is. And it's actually really useful for laptops because it's laptop type RAM. And yeah, I could definitely use this stuff. So that's cool. So if I could only find a power supply to get this thing running. Tried a couple of different power supplies, didn't work. I just get beep codes. So yeah, unfortunately for this guy, it looks like it's going to be a parts machine. Hard to, you know, invest in a system that is, you know, you pay $15 for it. Are you gonna spend $50 on a power supply? Are you gonna even spend $15 on a power supply? Really, the whole value of this thing is, the value proposition is the hard drive to me, and the RAM, and possibly this little CPU under here. Definitely a good replacement for some of my systems, or maybe an upgrade. So there you go, guys. That is it. Very short video. And hey, it's Saturday morning, very early. Hey, I hope you're having a good Saturday morning. I hope you found this somewhat interesting. This is one of those pickups I found at the old thrift store. Picked it up for 15 bucks. I thought, well, even if it's not worth trying to find a power supply for, at least I'm getting some RAM, a hard drive, and a CPU out of the deal. And hey, even an optical drive for a possible other system, I don't know. But hey, it's a good little system if it works. I don't know if it works. I can't test it, but I'm sure the RAM is fine. I'm sure the hard drive's fine. I just don't know if I can ever find a power supply. This is one of those risks you take when you buy a weirdo system like this. It's incomplete without the power supply. Word to the wise. Okay, guys, that's it. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.